Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy, I'm Dead, and today I'll be ranking every single perk in COD zombies, specifically Charge zombies. Also, I will be excluding Black Ops 4, Cold War, and Vanguard. If I'm being brutally honest, I personally did not like the zombie experiences from those games. So that's why I'm not including the perks from those games as well, because those games were a huge letdown to the community. But back to the tier list. So with this tier list, I'll be having 4 tiers, one being the bottom tier, the next one being the mid tier, the second to last being the demigod tier, and then the final one being the god tier. Now, let's see what perks go where. So, the first perk to hit the bottom tier list is Who's Who. This perk allows players to take control of a doppelganger when they go down. The second version of the character spawns near the original, but has an altered vision and is automatically equipped with a 1911. You basically have a second chance, but if you revive yourself, you still keep all your perks except Who's Who. My biggest problem with this perk is, there's a perk that came out before this perk on the map Tranzit, because this perk came out on Daiquiri, which was after Tranzit, and that perk is extremely better, but it technically kind of does the same exact thing. And that leads us to our next one, Tombstone. I put Tombstone above Who's Who because it's the same thing in a sense of you go down, you keep your things. Tombstone allows the player to kill themselves while down and recover their equipment via Tombstone power-up. If they get it in time, you'll keep your weapons, your equipment, and your perks, except Tombstone, just like Who's Who. The special thing about these two perks is they premiere on the top 2 worst map, Tranzit and Daiquiri. Next on our list, we have Vulture's Aid. So this perks allows you to see perks, wall weapons, pack-a-punch, etc. through walls, but over a short distance. The good thing about this perk is zombies will occasionally drop small packets of ammunition or points. Another good thing is you can kill a zombie and it releases a green gas upon death, which will cause players standing inside it to be ignored by other zombies. But at the same time, that doesn't happen all the time. So all this is by RNG, so this perk isn't really that efficient. When I think of perks, I don't automatically think of Vulture's Aid, and I definitely believe it deserved to be on this bottom spot. Okay, so I might catch some flack for this. The perk to reach the top spot of the bottom tier list is Deadshot Daiquiri. Deadshot Daiquiri was introduced on the map Call of the Dead. So Deadshot Daiquiri increases hipfire actually by 35% and reduces recoil on all weapons. And it is the complete opposite of Nadia when it comes to aimbot. It goes for the head instead of their torso. I put this perk at the top of the bottom tier list because this is a good perk, yes, but it's not a go-to. But this is a perk you don't hate or love. And if you love it, you're a different type of breed. You're just built different. The first perk to make the mid-tier list is Mule Kick. Mule Kick grants the player a 3rd weapon slot, so you're able to carry a 3rd gun. However, if the player goes down, they will lose the 3rd weapon they have in that slot. It's better than Deadshot because you're able to carry an extra weapon. This gets you going for high rounds. It helps you. So when you're running out of ammo on those other 2, guess what? You have a 3rd one right on your hip to send hellfire, downrange, and eliminate the target. I classify it as an OG, even though I know it's not the core OG ones, but this is an OG perk. Let me know where you would put Mule Kick, or if it's sitting in the right spot. Next up, we got the Running's Man perk, Stamin-Up. It affects the player's overall mobility as it increases movement speed by 7% and sprint duration by 100%. Stamin-Up was first introduced in the map Ascension. This perk definitely assists the players on large maps like Call of the Dead, Origins. I was gonna say Tranzit, but everywhere you run there's lava, so Tranzit, you're definitely being excluded. One thing I really like about this perk is it's so much easier to carry heavy firepower in your arsenal, like any light machine gun, an RPG, or a wonder weapon like the Apothecant Servant or Thunder Gun. That just makes training so much better if you're a person that prefers LMGs. So I had a lot of trouble finding a place to put this perk, and that perk is Electric Cherry. I think this perk is the best perk in all of Black Ops 2. Electric Cherry creates a lethal electrical shockwave around the player whenever they reload their weapon or when they go down. It only costs 2,000 points, and it was first introduced to us on the map Mob of the Dead. One of the classics, you know? It was definitely a unique perk. This perk is definitely a memorable one at that. And if you don't remember it, you're probably too young. Next up, PhD Flopper. So this perk I had a lot of trouble placing over Electric Cherry, but I snapped to my senses. And here's why. So Electric Cherry only has one feature, while PhD has multiple. PhD Flopper grants the player immunity against splash damage, explosive damage, and falling damage. This includes cooking grenades for too long, as well as enabling the player to trigger a powerful blast by diving to prone from a height that would otherwise damage them. This perk was introduced in Ascension, but it was also brought to us in Black Ops 2 as a perma perk, and also teased so many times, especially on the map Daiquiri. This is definitely a classic, and without a doubt, I think it's better than Electric Cherry. Oh, forgot to mention, it made the top of the mid-tier list. Also, do you think PhD is better than Electric Cherry? I would love to hear it. The first spot on the demigod tier list is Quick Revive. Well, this perk allows you to revive someone quicker in a co-op match, versus when you're doing solo, you revive yourself. I put it lower on the list, and I didn't put it in the god tier because the solo version of Quick Revive does not translate to the co-op version of Quick Revive. So that was kind of a big reason why I did not put it in the God tier, and I just put it in the Demigod tier instead. This perk is a must, especially when doing high rounds, because if you go down, simply get back up, get that quick little revive, and I believe you can get it 3 to 4 times. Once you pass that threshold, then the perk goes bye-bye and you can't keep utilizing it. But come on, sometimes
you need a little revive.
The perk to take the top of the Demigod tier list is double tap. So I classified 1.0 and 2.0 all in one, but 2.0 is obviously better. It increases the player's fire rate by 33% in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, and it allows your weapon to shoot out 2 bullets versus 1. But this perk's a really good perk to have on high rounds, which makes it a double-edged sword because, yes, you do more damage, you shoot faster, but when you look at your magazine pouch, you see you ran through all your ammo because the RPM, or the fire rate, on your weapon is absolutely on steroids because of this perk. But this perk's a really good perk to have on high rounds because of that damage booster, along with Pack-A-Punch. So, the first God tier perk is Widow's Wine. This perk was introduced on Shadows of Evil. It gives the player a special type of grenade similar to a Semtex, which creates a spider web when it detonates. It also increases your melee damage, but the cool thing about this perk, the web slows down zombies momentarily and deals some damage to the zombies, but none to the player, of course. Another thing about this perk, it detonates when you're hit by a zombie, but that's also a double-edged sword in itself as well. If you're saving a zombie and you get hit and you didn't throw your Widow's Wine, that zombie's most likely dead. And your friends are calling you a fucking dumbass because you killed the last zombie. Another good thing about the perk is, every time there's a new round, just like you would get more grenades, you get your Widow's Wine back instead of the grenades because it takes that spot of the grenades. I would say Widow's Wine just makes the game even more easier because it just gives you extra cushion to your safety net. Your first line of defense, you have Widow's Wine. Your second line of defense, you have Juggernog. And your third line of defense, you have Quick Revive. You're damn near unstoppable. I personally think having Widows introduced in Zetsubo would have been a better fit than having it introduced in Shadows, because Zetsubo no Shima, for the dog rounds, has spiders instead. And plus, you literally fight a freaking spider boss. Do you guys agree? And our second God tier goes to Speed Cola. Speed Cola costs 3,000 points, and its debut was on the map Verrukt with our other 3 core perks. Speed Cola allows you to reload faster to keep the game fast paced. Like, honestly, imagine Speed Cola not existing and you have an LMG or a wonder weapon like the Apothecon. It would be complete hell. Speed Cola is the second perk that I always go for, but this next one is a primary one I think we all go for. The best perk of all time is Juggernog. This perk allows you to take more damage from zombies, increasing your health, and it's an absolute crutch perk. Speaking about crutch perks, I understand why Treyarch tried to innovate and try to fix something that was not broken in Black Ops 4. The game that zombies took a turn for the worse, honestly. Juggernog is an OG classic perk that if you show somebody who played zombies a few times, they'll definitely know that's from zombies. It's like showing someone a ray gun. They definitely know that's from zombies. There's not much else to say about Jug besides it being a perk that you need, and it helps you get to high rounds, and you feel like an absolute boss once you get it. You feel more safe. So that is my ranking of all the perks from World at War to Black Ops 3. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you slap a thumbs up, comment down below whether you agree or disagree, and subscribe. Speaking of subscribing, if you guys want to, check out my other channel. It's called The Real Vendetta. It's where I talk about personal things, about life. If you're living in Japan, me being a U.S. Marine veteran, I'll tell you guys some experiences, to even reacting to things. You guys get to see the real side of me, hence the name The Real Vendetta. Link will be in the description. Thank you guys so much. It's been your boy, I'm not Vendetta. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.